Hello, hi. It's a very sleepy afternoon. Today is the 11th of March 2025 and it's a Tuesday and the temperature is really enticing me to close my eyes and take a nap. But I have to do this first because a lot, the success of this undertaking will also depend on you guys. I say this because I believe that I am not alone in this and that there are other stakeholders who would like to extend help to persons who do not enjoy the blessings that we have. Somehow we provide, the face and the hand of our Creator in making sure that we do our part. So today I had I had taken a commute as always. So it is quite very educational. Whereas if I am riding a private car without without my ears tuning in to what's happening to the outside world, I can be accused of truly living in my own world. But because of the lifestyle that I have, which include being part of the mainstream society, hailing a public commute transportation, sharing a small space so that the car would eventually fill in the quota and that we can move. So I get to listen to the conversations all around me, experience what they're experiencing, seeing street kids by the age of 5, 6, 7, taking their chance. Like when the car slows down, they would jump aboard and distribute. They have a brown envelope, small envelope, and they would distribute it to the commuters, to the passengers, and they would take a chance that they can be given loose change. Obviously, I would think that this is how they are able to buy food and take care of their family, because I can see that since they are in a group, somehow there is some kind of grouping or group that they belong to, even if it's not family. But some of them come from tribes who come down because probably it's not how it used to be. Their source of living had dried up and they are taking their chances. So I know I was one of those who are torn by giving something to tide them over for in the next hours or for the day, so that they could survive for the day. And then, but it's so this is not how it's supposed to be. Like any amount that we give them will be an encouragement for them to make the street their home, and that to take their chances with strangers and with moving cars. I'd like to think that the government has been tasked by our God to undertake, to mimic the, the talk and the walk of a real family, a home, a nurturing home to the best of their ability. Of course, it's a very, very poor second to how a family unit should take care of each other, how we are designed to be each other's support, right? So I had been, it had been playing in my mind for so long, and finally I am able now to go to this agency, which is the gateway for Republic Act 11861, or the Expanded Solo Parents Welfare Act. Come to think of it, this department of the executive government is the gateway. They are the first aid to take care of the plight. The very description that I've been trying to discuss or to describe, the Department of Social Welfare and Development. It's actually the counterpart of the child's welfare and protective agency in the US, something like that. But it's the welfare. But it doesn't work the same way because, of course, we're a third world, we're a developing country. So DSWD, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, is the gatekeeper also for the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997, or the IPRA, Republic Act 8371. The gatekeeper for Republic Act 9208, the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2003 as amended by Republic Act 10364, Expanded Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2012. Republic Act 11861, the Expanded Solo Parents Welfare Act. Republic Act 9262, Violence Against Women and Their Children. And Republic Act 116421, the Domestic Administrative Adoption and Alternative Child Care Act of 2022. So all of these are geared towards the very complex interpersonal relationship within the family. So I would have to, hands off. My respect is total and so up there. It's incomparable, actually, the mandate that they have been given. And here in the Philippines, in the present, it's under the leadership of Secretary Rex Lon Gatchalian, who is the secretary of the National DSWD. So at this point, I've been to the city CSWD, the branch, the office of the DSWD within the City Social Welfare and Development of Lucena City. And I also will be directed to the regional DSWD, not just the CSWD, but the DSWD regional, the Calabarzon region. And it's a step towards the national office, which is led by Secretary Gatchalian. And I will be able to finally put on paper, the first time that I had been involved in a benefit show, not as a talent, but as an organizer, to the late Felino Tañada. He's a good friend. He was a very good friend, and he's an artist. In the I had taken my first seminar on television workshop, and I had gotten my first chance to write a novel through Precious, through his friend Joanne Shonglo also. So we had sort of project, a screening open to all, and part of the ongoing screening was we were able to coordinate with local CSWD RACs. It's a place, a shelter for the street kids mainly, and for the local Lucena, for the providing relief, instant relief to the women in crisis. If you are a citizen if you belong to the community here in Lucena City. That is where, and you have approached CSWD. Rocks is the place that can take you in for a night before you are turned over to the regional office, and then from there the accredited list of the NGO, non-government agency or organization whose heart is for this vulnerable sector of society, women and children. So it's a very it doesn't work by itself, but it's an interagency effort, which it should be, because there is a law enforcement component, there is the judicial component, because they cannot act on their own without the judicial order, of course, because every person, every family has a right, and if the government will intervene, it should be done within the constitution or within the rules and regulation of each department. So there should be an interagency coordination. It's not a standalone. And I'm finally, as part of the organizer, I can bank on that experience if I want to produce a charity event, a show that is hopefully to do my part for a safer kids. And we saw them, Felina and I, we saw the structure that they had, how they were somehow providing some kind of education parallel to the educational system, and they were being taught to cope with life, basic things that they should know of, like building their confidence, to prepare them, to integrate them after the initial rescue or shelter, just like any kind of halfway house. So I was also part of the church-based organization that had similarly shared some financial assistance, and also gift giving. One Christmas, we were able to make them smile, and for them to somehow let them experience what it is, what the season is all about. So, and of course, who can ever forget? I had been able to receive a cash assistance of 2,500 from the social workers when I first experienced the inaccessibility of my accounts. So I was in panic mode and I didn't know what to do. So I thought everything was my fault, and that somehow I should, before I broached this, whatever was happening to my parents or to my family, I would try first to, get help. And I'm so thankful that DSWD had brought me here in Pleasantville that amount, and it was quite a shock. It sent a shock wave. Why? What? How come you received a dole out? So, we cannot be judgmental about dole out as like generally labeling it as, the lazy man's subsistence, something like that. So, finally, when I had said my piece about my intention, because this morning I went there at the CSWD and told them that I wanted, to do it again. It was a good experience for me. I am not disappointed. So I've been given, the task ahead, and part of it was to give my resume and my background and the whys and wherefores. So now I am able to not name drop, but actually provide the details, the data that my record in why 2025 is the year that I want to share the blessing in ways that I could not do so, like in the street. This is in full support of the effort of the government to do their part so that the street children can find a safer way to engage life, to be protected, and to find the second best. The most ideal being to be with your family within the safe confine of your home. But when that has not been available, there is a provision actually funded by the people's money, by the taxes, so that they can be cared for. And there is nothing wrong with private citizens who want to help out in any way. So that is where you come in, guys. I hope that you would also be a support. Like, I want to offer myself as a channel of blessing so that you too can make a difference to these street children and to these vulnerable women who have no clue, who because of the instinct of self-preservation, taking the easy way, they do not realize that they are making choices that can actually bring them to more trouble and vulnerability by not taking a careful consideration of the options available for them. Especially women are nowadays, even now, very vulnerable. So DSWD and these centers can provide the education and the safe options for them to be reintegrated into the mainstream society. So how I'm thinking, what compels me now really is that because had I not been able to successfully make a case for what and how the daughter of Claro and Clerny talaga should be and should have, and what is expected, both the responsibility and the privilege, my next option would have been, to look for ways and means, how best not to be a burden to the, to relatives and friends who might have a way for me to earn a living that is, similarly situated, so that we could help each other. So, had I not been able to, had my late mother, learning talaga, not been able to delegate to me her her legitimacy, yes, her real status before she passed on, before the last 3 years before her death, the system would not have still recognized me. I would not have had the new or the corrected status that I have. I would have fallen prey to, the easy way out, even if it means, cutting corners. If I think that by resorting to changing or altering my personal identification probably I would have been so tempted beyond my strength for the ayuda or the cash dole outs, and I would have said yes, 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 that's me. Now, you know, now give me the money, something like that. Of course, it's so crude, but still, we have a Tagalog saying, kapit sa patalim, ang taong nangangailangan kumakapit sa patalim, a person who is in need, will snatch at anything and everything just to somehow survive and to live day by day, something like that. And sometimes, one tends to not think clearly when the pressure is there, like, being like in a pressure cooker, you are being softened in here, and softened in here, that you would agree to anything, you would do and say anything just to get out of a very tricky situation, right? So fortunately for me, now before I even reach that level of desperation, my faith has come through for me, and that is the part where I want to somehow want to give back for the things that I am so blessed not to go through. So it is based, actually, the experiences that I have, it's firsthand personal knowledge, and it's documented. So any sharing of personal testimony will not come from imagination. As it is, I am the gatekeeper for household budget that is supposed to belong to, had we have, if we are award or under guardianship, or have a stewardship or overseer assigned to our family, the budget, the balancing, the some responsibilities would not have fallen on me. But as it is, I am the gatekeeper, and I sit on those records, on the data, that if a time will come wherein there is a reckoning time, or time to assess what had happened, what has been happening, I am ready to present, the first-hand knowledge of what it is, what it means to protect a family, to be there physically, emotionally, and your whole being. Yeah. So sometimes through the learning curves, it exposes our weaknesses. Well, anyway, enough for that. I'm just saying that hopefully I will bring this cause to the stage, to sing my heart out, and to open it as an opportunity for some who also have the gift of music, who also want to share that moment with me, as we as we find it in our busy schedule, to be one with each other, to remember the time that how we were how we could have lost everything, how we could have made wrong decisions, that that as it turned out, some were blessings in disguise, some were learning curves, and some were just for us to appreciate that others are still wallowing in that kind of misery. And now is the time, actually, for a more concrete assurance to them that they are not relegated to the waste bin. Somehow, it may not be enough, but someone, somewhere, someone had prayed to our Lord, and somehow, some way, God is also sending us to be an answered prayer for them. So I hope that you would also support me in this. And I am actually working out the details now by the book, so that we will not be short-circuiting the system, the due process, and that we can do so within the boundaries of the law. Thank you so much. This is yours truly, Clarice. Oh, yeah, it is also a way to refresh how the initial approach that I had with like the sponsors and the officials had been riddled with so much controversy and confusion. And after the dust is settled, right now, which is right now, I am, you know, I am still open to answering any lingering doubts or questions about those initial overture that I have. And yes, it's still me. I still have that same name. I still have that same. I am still working in the same industry. I am still a player within the industry where I first had been, the first time I had been given an opportunity. So thank you so much, and bye for now.